Hi, this is Emre with the video lesson of the week. Sometimes it happens that I ignore the risk part of a trade. And I have a great example for that I will show you in a minute. You know, I improved considerably managing the risk in my trades. And that's good, that's great. Nevertheless, still it happens that I play a trade in a way that is not really smart. And I really wanted to know, why is it that I'm struggling with risking losing, which is an important part of trading? Yeah. So I dived into the psychology part and what's going on in my mind. And I found out that it is very important to understand and to accept that losing is a part of winning. The point is also to keep the losses small and to let the winner trades continue. You know, now I understand much better and in depth. If I ignore the risk, if I always want to win, then losing is not an option. Then I do everything to avoid to realize a loss. And what happens is that a small loss is becoming a bigger loss. If I understand and grasp that realizing a small loss is part of making money, then I can allow it to myself. It is okay then. I would even say, do everything to keep the losses small. Then there is more chance to make money, right? So let's have a look at my ECL trade I made the other day. And I show you what I mean also when we go through the chart. So that's the ECL trade I made on March 15. And you see here the 1 minute chart and over here the trading history so that we can better follow my two entries and the two covers. Alright, so on that day I was looking for an entry to go short with ECL, and after it started to go down, somewhere around here I decided to go short and I shorted 50 shares. So then yeah, it was okay, it was going more down, and after a point it turned direction and was going up and going even more up. And then on this level, which is which is a level I specially marked because I consider this as a level of defining my risk. It started to go down again, and I thought, if I look at from a risk-reward perspective, then it was a good point to enter again. If I'm expecting ECL will go short, then it was a good point. And I shorted, just 10 shares again, but then I was with 60 shares short. But what you can see here is after going down a little bit, and here I could still think and expect that it will go down and maybe it will be a great short trade. But after that point you see that it is actually going higher. It is making higher lows, and then it is also breaking this, this area here, and then it continues to go up. And what you can see is that I was still in the trade and I was still waiting. And yeah, obviously I was still hoping. I didn't want to, realize the loss. And so I kept staying in the trade. And after a while, then, yeah, you recognize and you see that's not really going into the direction. And I mean, I need to do something and I need to stop this. And yeah, that's the point then where I covered 40 shares of ECL. And that is here, this area here at 103.21. And yeah, you see that I was still in the trade with 20 shares short, and I covered them then sometime later, so just around 20 cents even higher from that price where I covered just here. What I also learned, very good, is that it's always good to look from different perspectives. So what I mean is, we have the chance to, after a while, switch to another chart, to the 5-minute chart or to the 15-minute chart. To just have a look and how is it looking in that chart. And this is really what I'm doing more and more, because in such trades then I'm just, observing it all the time, and I stay just in the 1-minute chart. And then you miss a couple of signals or something which is obvious in the other chart, in the 5-minute chart. So let's have a look into that. So that's the 5-minute chart now. And you see this is the beginning of the trade, and you see here much better that it went down for a little bit, it went down, but then you see exactly that it is turning direction and it is doing a bigger green bar here. And that was the point here, this bar, where I shorted again, and then it turned direction and went more up. But you see, here is again the point where it is, where I just should have covered completely all positions, because then there is no risk reward calculation anymore. And this is really where I understand that if I'm always looking to win, and I always want to win, yes, there is no option to realize a lose. I mean, this is not an option. I don't see it as an option. So, and what's happening is that this loss that I could have realized here, that would be, somewhere around $10, was now getting bigger and bigger. A small loss became then bigger. And then when I cover over here, and then later, over here, then it is not $10 anymore, but it is now $45. So on one hand, really one important point is to just accept that small losses is part of the game. That's totally normal. That's okay. That's needed in order to make money, to win. And then, it's really to get out of all the emotions and then stay dynamic. Just switch between the different charts, the 1 minute chart in this example and the 5 minute chart in this example, and then have a look what's happening. I mean, it's also important to really have those lines, those helping lines also while you are trading, in order to really see. That's the point where I really don't allow the loss to get bigger. Now I cover it and that's it. We can even have a look at the 15-minute chart. And I mean, here you see it even better. I was, what is that, around 40 minutes in the trade until I then really decided to cover those 40 shares, and then later, a little bit later, the 20 shares. Yeah. So 40 minutes is at this point, and you see that, okay, it was a short idea, but it was not working, hasn't worked. So now it became a long even. Yeah. And so where's the point to stay then still short in this position, in this trade? And I repeat it, it's really not to accept that losses are okay, but it is okay. Just look for, keep them small, and then just look for another trade. Don't spend your energy and your time into something where you are blocked. If you release yourself, if you are balanced in that manner, then, close this trade, realize the small loss, go and look for another trade, and give your energy and time into the other trade. Okay, great. That was really an important lesson for me. It is really about the psychology, which is so important. I mean, it's not only this video, it's really think about this. Think about this topic. I would really ask you to do that. And I'm doing it as well. I'm doing it in the evenings, just thinking about the trades I did during the day, and then just go through them again in your mind. And keep doing that. I mean, you will really discover some patterns and so on. Just improve yourself. That's what Mike DeGioia, the founder of the Affinity Trading Institute, is telling us all the time, It's also about improving your trading. So what we are doing here is really is a very important part. All right, then I wish you a fantastic week. Allow yourself to realize small losses. So until next week, this is Emre.